Hello, viewers. Welcome to Banking Frontiers. My name is Manoj Agrawal. I'm the group editor at Banking Frontiers. Today, I'm in a conversation with a very interesting person, Darshana Shah. She heads marketing and digital and innovation and at Aditya Birla Health Insurance. And I think that's an area, that's an industry that is evolving very rapidly. So, Darshana, welcome to Banking Frontiers.
Hi, thank you so much, Manoj. And hi, everybody.
So, Darshana, my first question is this. Innovation is happening in the industry all the while. So, as an insurance company, how are you juggling these three requirements: innovation, speed, and scalability?
Obviously, scale is important for any large business who are, and for a startup like us, we are just in 5 year operating now, 5 years of operations. So for us to really scale was given and given from the conglomerate that we come from. So speed and scale was given, but with that, innovation was taking its own, time. And pre-COVID, this entire category of health insurance was a very push category. People didn't wake up to say that, oh my God, today I need health insurance. COVID changed their entire outlook. So suddenly this category, and for a marketer, I can tell you it's a delight that it became a pull category because people suddenly realized that they were losing jobs, they didn't have their group cover. There were many things that, and also the COVID claims was very expensive. COVID hospitalization was very expensive. So suddenly they woke up saying that, oh my God, am I covered? Do I have enough? And it became a pull category. So obviously, so for us, suddenly the demand from the consumer went up to what it was, and it was not just innovation, but innovation. Obviously, all of us had to push our game faster, quicker. What we were doing in a year's time, we had to now do in a couple of weeks and months' time. Whilst that was given, but we also had to reimagine our business today because the entire reimagining was required because today consumer was not going through the regular channel of buying health insurance. It suddenly became omni-channel. A lot of digital came to foreplay. So whether you were going on a net banking of our partner's journey, our bank partner's journey, or coming on our digital journey on a mobile application, so consumers were omni-channel. Today consumers are shopping omni-channel. It's not just anymore going to that branch or an agent or doing a face-to-face. Now that was a big shift for how insurance is sold. Insurance traditionally sold a lot of via intermediaries and via these agents who are doing more face-to-face selling. So fortunately for us, whilst we were already there with our digital journey, but that's where we had to bring in a lot of innovation, new thinking, co-browsing, for example. Now the maybe a telesales person or the agent is actually talking the way we are talking today. Now this entire feature of co-browsing and helping the customer to buy didn't exist. So we had to bring those kind of features. We had to bring in the entire real-time conversations. A lot of WhatsApp became very big for us on a self-servicing. Our IVR bought on our IVR. So we didn't want people to wait at the calling end or at the IVR end. So how could we do more and more self-servicing? So WhatsApp definitely really helped us taking that leap. Our mobile application really became very active. So some of these things we had to really go out and do it as category first, industry first. At the same time, when it came to speed, because that's what I'm saying, the agile mindset. Gone are the days where there are only digital departments which are thinking digitally. Every area had to start thinking digitally. Every area, whether it was underwriting, whether it was claims. Like I said, the COVID claims became very big for us, which was not true earlier. So the kind of claims that we were bringing in, so how we could do faster, giving out the monies, how we could do faster underwriting. A lot of these departments, every area had to start thinking digitally. Everybody had to bring in a whole digital mindset. So gone were the days that only the digital department or digital team would go and do that. Every area had to become digital agile. So it was another thing for speed, at speed. And obviously customers now today want everything real time. If you're buying a policy, I had to give you the policy. You are now a soft copy on on your WhatsApp. If you're raising a claim, you want to see that where my claim is today. So we had to give that, it is claim is at this department, it is here, it is now. So all those transactional journeys had to be built in, which earlier was not there because that's what a consumer is used to. Everything they want
It
to see.
is
So that kind of,
instantaneous, yeah.
yeah, the checking in, the seeing where it is now. So by in how many days will we get? So transparency had to be bought in, and digitally servicing had to be bought in. So those were the areas which we had to do a lot of thinking, rethinking, imagining, and bringing up to speed, and obviously scaling because this was a golden era for a health insurance category.
It is.
obviously consumers were waking up. They wanted their insurance. They were claiming a lot of real time interaction and engagement was at its peak. So that's where a lot of work had to be done.
But did the company have the right kind of human resources in terms of skills and in terms of numbers to handle this all this huge variety of changes in such a short period of time?
So no, did we have all kind of skills? No, I don't think anybody can stand up and say we had and we knew. Nobody could do that. I mean, I wish we had that crystal ball and we could all, see what's going to come in future, but no.
I know.
But in all honesty, no, we didn't have. So we had to on the go keep reskilling ourselves, keep upskilling ourselves, looking at what are the nuances, look at the best practices. We obviously hired a lot of consultants who were giving us what was happening. So we had to do a lot of those unlearning and relearning, obviously. That's why I'm saying the entire business model in some sense had to be reimagined across
That's true.
functions. So yes, and we had to, but the excitement was that because as a business we were growing. So the excitement from the same team, to reskill and think differently and bring in new ideas here and now was already there. The only skill set we had to really, really push or really groom them was that everywhere we needed digital thinking. So digital mindset didn't only come from the digital team. Like I said, every team had to now think where the customer is and how they can, how they can be there.
Correct.
So that really helped us.
What about the implementation part, the IT team that actually goes ahead and implements all that? Did that team size also grow in the last 2 years?
It starts from that basic thing where, when the IT guys had to, in lockdown, also transferring machines, bringing laptops are not available in the market at some point in time. So pre-ordering that and, some crazy amount of juggling had to be done. In fact, I remember when we were hiring our engineering folks, we were hiring people only. And one thing happened in COVID that you didn't need people from Bombay. So now the entire world had opened up. So we were looking at hiring people from different cities, but people who already had their own laptops. And we just had to give them because it was not possible now because laptops are not available. But the project,
bottleneck.
So then we could use that to our advantage. That okay, if you're sitting in Chennai, you are sitting in Himalayas for all we care, as long as you had your own machine. So that's why the tech world became more omni-channel again. You didn't have to be in Bombay and travel. So suddenly the resources were available in abundance. It's just that we could go and target those resources. But at the same time, the other challenge the entire category or entire industry was facing was attrition. This in the tech, a lot of attrition has happened. So we had to figure out our own way in the group overall, not just for our business. So fortunately, being a large group, how to do a lot of talent remapping, creating agile workforces was another new agenda, of course, that we had to skill and learn. So those kind of trainings and those things were a part of the day, and also picking people and talent from tier 2 towns and how to groom them. And not because today I didn't need people to come to my office. So looking at all those kind of things in the IT, in the tech area, in the digital area, that was, yes, because we needed a lot more, forces to work. A lot of partners, we used a lot of partners to help us, and we didn't have to really do everything in-house. So those kind of doors also opened up. And also a lot of work around infra, because infra, network, scale, cloud, a lot of new things came in. And with that also came in the security side.
Yes,
so
of course.
all the frameworks from security, data, a lot of those things suddenly also became very important.
Were you already on cloud or something where you can scale up much faster than buying servers or something?
We were not 100% on cloud. We were getting onto cloud at that time, and it just had to be augmented much faster. And that's another jump we had to do. So we had to augment a cloud movement faster from on-prem. And obviously there came all the other asks from infra, data, a lot of other things.
My next question is on balancing agility and compliance. Was there some issue during this COVID period in terms of did the compliance become any stringent, or was there an issue that you had to balance? Was there an issue which made compliance a bottleneck in terms of doing all this scale and speed and whatever else?
So there were a lot of work happening between the category and the businesses and the regulators together. So there were a lot of newer things which were coming in. There were short-term products coming in, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Otherwise, in health insurance, it's just a 1 year product and every 1 year. There were
Right.
short-term products coming in. So that way, I think the regulator and the industry or the category were working together and finding newer, the newer problems and newer answers faster, quicker. And that's why compliance also was working together. So everybody was looking at the customer, keeping customer at the core, keeping customer at the
Mhm.
center. And how do you move fast and how do you change your policies? Yeah, so all was happening together and give more and more solutions and becoming a bottleneck. We bought in a lot of these education and series to educate our customers what needs to be done, how you can take care of yourself at home. Compliance to me and regulator overall was working together.
So, what do you see as the kind of thing that will push that? Is it going to be better products? Is it going to be better distribution, better sales, better claims? Something. What do you see as the drivers for further growth?
So one of the areas which we're realizing is that D2C, direct see insurance has been a game for largely with intermediaries. And
Mhm.
while we are obviously scaling up our game and making our distribution stronger, distribution has adopted technology, has adopted social. At the same time, consumers are today becoming also very smart. And while they're going and you're going and checking out rates, or you're checking out
Mhm.
at an aggregator and you're buying at the brand that you want or at the business or the brand that you want. So that's where we are all now upping our game when it comes to D2C, the direct to consumer. How do we become more and more direct to consumer? How do we educate? How we make their entire buy journey frictionless? How do we
Mhm.
bring that that sort of awareness that they can just we understand them better, then so we understand the profile of a customer better to pitch the right product. So that's why that kind of the smart tools, smart analytics, those kind of things, and the whole martech tool which is coming into play. So how
Okay.
do we use this kind of technology to drive our entire D2C journeys more seamless, create more bite-sized insurance product?
How much do you think the direct customer engagement has in what is the proportion of increase in the last 2 years, either for your own organization or for the industry as a whole?
So I think today what we are looking at a new game is that how can we look at those kind of products, first of all, which are more D2C in nature, and then how then we enable that whole thing. So that's the future, if you ask me.
And what do you think estimate as a timeline to be able to reach, let's say, 50% of the target population?
Since your consumer is already ready with that whole
Okay.
behavior of D2C, because every other category they're buying online. So you just have to be there, not just creating your own, but also being on the partner platform. So can
Okay.
you be on these platforms, the whole platform economy? That can you be there on, and that is where we are. So we are already on the telecom platform with our partners, or whether it is
Okay.
or whether it is so there are various platform partners that we have, Paytm, MobiKwik. So how can we play a game there? Is it's not just collaboration is a game forward, not
Okay.
creating your own all the time. So you
Everything
collaborate
on.
where your customer is and you just start, whether it is your bank or these other platform, the partners, and
Hmm.
that's the way forward.
What has been your experience with fintechs and insurtechs?
So currently, let's say the way our underwriting was done earlier, and how today you're looking at a lot of parameters, even your health assessment or your health checkups. Today, there
Hmm.
are partners who can just by looking at your face can tell
Hmm.
you about your heart health and your BMI, and just putting those 2 3 data points and looking at your face and your video. A lot of those video based, the biometrics that have started, underwriting that has started. So these are very interesting things that they are end to end, the symptom checkers that are there. So for none of these things, you really have to enter a diagnostic center. You can just
Hmm.
fill up some question, and then you can, your video and your facial can tell a lot of things about you. So whether it is used for your underwriting, whether it is used for your fraud, whether it is used for your health data. So I think that's where a lot of new age partners are coming in, and that's where they are also learning and discovery. But I think that's where the journey is becoming seamless, because when there was lockdowns, how are we doing underwriting? People are not going to diagnostic centers. So we were using some of these, biometrics partners and using those kind of tools. So I think that's interesting. That's where the entire health tech and insurtech
That's
is coming in. How are we
that's
making our
interesting.
claims more and more agile so that today you can claim using our WhatsApp? Today you can, raise a claim using your app, WhatsApp, web. You don't have to really, now go to a branch or do any of those things. So there are various touch points. Every area has grown, but specifically in health tech, I can tell you that
Hmm.
well, insure tech and also on the wallet and all that side to make your payments easy. So your EMI is easy. So there are various technology solutions on that side, but also on the health tech side, the awareness that consumers themselves want to stay healthy today. That that the way India is moving towards staying healthy, doing your the sort of checkups and all, being more vigilant about those things, which earlier we were procrastinating. I think there's a lot of people who are now becoming more and more vigilant, aware, and that's what's helping overall.
But what about the less educated and the less older people, maybe?
Oh, but you
Any
see, the
story?
older people today are on WhatsApp. One thing what people have understood, even if you're a senior citizen, video content you understand better. So
Yes.
how can you convert everything into a bite-sized video content, and when you make it shareable through WhatsApp, they are learning that, they are understanding that, and they are today understanding how to be on Zoom as a platform, and and to engage. And also there are, I think it's not that the adoption of tech is zero in that age group. It's just
Hmm.
that you have to make things very simple in their language. And obviously, India is multicultural, multilinguistic. So you have to
Yes.
bring it in their language.
So the new emerging concern is mental health. Is
Oh,
that
yes.
something that your company, that Aditya Birla Health Insurance, is looking into doing something, offering products, offering solutions?
Oh, absolutely, in a big way. Mental health and mental well being has been a huge concern during this entire 2 years, specifically both for. For the youth also and for senior citizens also, because suddenly, staying alone, being alone, you don't know what
Yes.
to do, your jobs for the youth, the whole concern, college students, because you were coming out and you were not getting the jobs, which was your promise. Or similarly for senior citizens staying here alone and constantly seeing people around are hospitalized because we had this entire mental wellness as a part of our product, so we
Okay.
augmented that. We started mental health helplines, mental health helplines with our partners, we for not just for our customers but for also for our employees,
Okay.
for our partners, or everybody, our partners, our advisors and fraternity. So there were helplines, there were doctors and counselors available on call. We had that sort of available through our WhatsApp series and various things. So we've been there. It's also part of a product. So a lot of counseling engagement, and we are seeing that that is here to stay. We're looking at how we can augment that further, create products just for counseling and just taking a question and understanding where your mental health is today and what kind of counseling do you need. So that awareness to bridging in with counselors and specialists, that
Mm-hmm.
end-to-end series is what we are creating and launching products in that area also.
Thank you, Darshana. Thank you very much for all these insights.
Oh yes, thanks Manoj, and all the best with that and exciting times ahead.
Yes.